Okay, today we're going to be trying swapping 5th gen coils into a 3rd gen 4runner. I've seen some debate on this on the forums and just wanted to try it for myself. I got these springs for super cheap, orange pink, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, pre-lift measurement is about 36 inches. That's from the floor up. Okay, this side is all messed up from a semi-truck actually hitting me, so the measurement is off a little on here, but I'll do my best. From the bottom to the top is about 36 inches, just like the other one. Just about the same. I mean, right there isn't too bad crunch, and it's about 36. Let's get that to focus. So I am on 265 75 16 wheels, upside down right there, but it's what size my tires are, sorry. Firestone Destination. And I don't have really any weight in the back. The sub, can jam, fishing pole, random crap, but sometimes I do have a sleeping platform back here and it's a bit more loaded up, so we'll see if these 5th gen springs can maybe give me a little bit of a lift and maybe just less sag when I got my car full. Like I said, I got these on KSL super cheap, so KSL is like Craigslist if you're not in Utah. So we'll see how these work out. They're basically brand new. Some guy, the Toyota dealership, sold them to me. Okay guys, I got both the wheels off. About to lower it on these jack stands, but just looking already. That's how they look now. And I mean, these ones, just the new ones, look a little bit beefier, a little bit thicker. So we'll see what happens. Just gonna loosen up some of this stuff. All right, we're back. I loosened up the pan hard bar, whatever. Got that out. Then I loosened up the shocks on both sides. Then I was just messing around, pushed down and yanked this guy out, so that was super easy. Let's compare them now. Let's see. So there it is, first look. My spring is definitely longer, but looks like the coil is a little thicker on the 5th gen. One thing is, I am not sure if it matters, but which side this coil goes on, the passenger or the driver, so we're just gonna guess and throw them in. But yeah, that's it for now. We'll compare them a bit more out in the sun, I think. So yeah, they're both looking about the same size, so I don't think it will matter which one I put on which side, but there you go, there's the comparison. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit that guy back in. People are saying they trim it up, but I'm just gonna try and shove it in how it is, and sorry if it's super windy. Okay, so I slid this guy back in, got it all lined up properly over here. The bump stop is in, and it seems to fit all right. I put it under some pressure with the jack, and it seemed to like pop into place, see it into place. Now, the coil doesn't follow the exact pattern on this axle thing, like the spot on the axle, but it is pretty close. Then on this side, after I jacked up the other end, I still was having trouble pulling this one out. It was not as simple on the it was not as easy. The spring didn't just like fall out. I had to use the car jack against this bump stop. It's kind of a little bit sketchy, but hopefully it holds. And then I was able to pull the coil out, and this is a comparison. The bump stop is out, so the new one is in the middle from the 5th gen, and then the one I just pulled out is right there on the right. So they're about the same size, but this one's just a little bit shorter. So I'll throw the bump stop in there, get it in, and then we'll try and button everything back up and see what the results are. Okay, we're putting everything back together. We're just doing it in reverse order. So I got the shock on the passenger side buttoned up, and then I'm doing this pan-hard bar. Comment below which one it is. I don't even know, but that's close enough. To get this thing lined back up, all you have to do is jack up the passenger side as well as the driver's side, and the bolt just slid right back in. So that was easy, and then you torque it down to proper specs, shake it, just tighten it up. Same with the shock, tighten it up, make sure it doesn't get loose. And now I'm just gonna try and get this last shock tightened up and on. And yes guys, I'm just gonna be using the same stock shocks with these new coils, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, we're back, jacked up from the pumpkin. The shock is back on, as well as the pan-hard, damn, every time. So there's the new coil compressed. I don't know how different it looks from the other clip, but it fits. Some thoughts while I was doing this: the only thing that really concerns me is that these the lower coil doesn't exactly line up with like the I don't know what you call it, the trail that the last one sits in. Sorry for the fingers there. So it sits slightly out, but I mean it is tucked in the right spot. It just wraps around a little bit wider down there at the bottom. We'll see if that does anything. Guys, this was just an experiment, so I mean if I have to go back to I was saying this is just an experiment, so if I have to go back to the old shocks over there, I can. I just wanted to test this out. Also, I was thinking the color codes for these are facing forward on mine, so I was thinking maybe if somebody has a 5th gen 4runner and can tell us on theirs if these coils, if the colors are facing forward or backward, maybe we can figure out which one is supposed to go on which side, if it matters. I know the 5th gen 4runner is a bit heavier in the rear, at least I'm assuming. I imagine so. So these will be able to carry more than enough weight for this 4runner, but it would still be nice to know which one is supposed to go on which side. So like I said there, the color code's facing the front of my car. I'm gonna throw on the wheels and we'll lower it and we'll see what happened. Okay guys, so here it is. It's extra windy, sorry if you hear that. It's not too bad in the garage. After it's all buttoned up, tied down, starting from the bottom, we are, so starting from the bottom, we are just about at 37 1/4 on this side. Yeah, to me it looks like 37 1/4. So I think we gained like 1 1/4 inches over here. Now let's check the other side. This side is even more. 1 second, let's see. For some reason I think this side lifted more, so from the very bottom to about 37 1/2 over here. Just about 37 1/2. Sorry for the bad camera work. I'm no professional, sorry. 37 1/2 over here. So this is like 1.5 inches, a little bit more than the other side. That's about the measurements that I got. They're not perfect, but it is what it is. I mean, they're all tucked up in there. They fit for the most part. Have yet to drive it, so I'm gonna go take it around the block a bit and I will report back. Okay, so it's super windy out here. I'll try and catch this between the wind. The conclusion is it did lift it just slightly, about 1.25 inches. I barely drove around in it, just down the block over some speed bumps and whatnot, but I can feel a little bit of a difference, just slightly stiffer. Trying to focus this camera. I should have done something like this with the stock shocks, but I just didn't even think of it, of course. But yeah, just a little bit taller. They didn't fall out or make any crazy noises, so I think they're settled. But that's it. About 1 inch, a little bit stiffer, and I'll report back in like a week or so. I'll probably load everything up in the back, and I'll report back in about a week or so with how it does on some, I don't know, light trails and whatnot, if it sags a ton. But sorry for the wind again. Definitely a good way to refresh the rear end. It's definitely not sagging anymore, so there it is. Super cheap, super easy. Just bring a little bit more life into the back end of your 4runner, and I'll try and replace the shocks eventually with something, but for now just keeping it stock, and I think it'll be fine. But there it is.